usually do this less I'm drunk or I'm high, but I'm both right now and I need you in my life. I don't usually do this less I'm drunk or I'm high, but I'm both right now. Yeah, I'm both.
What's up YouTube? It's your boy D and welcome back to my channel. I can finally say that the NFL regular season is less than a week away and I cannot be more excited. There's been a bunch of NFL trades and roster cuts, seeing how the deadline was just last Saturday, and with all of those trades, NFL teams did get better before the regular season can start, including one of the teams that I'm going to be talking about in this prediction video. I'm going to try to grind out all of the divisions before games this Sunday, but if not Sunday, then hopefully by the games on Monday. I've already done the NFC East and the NFC South, and I'll leave the link to both of those in the description. But today, we're going to be changing conferences and tackling the AFC North. So let's get it. The Pittsburgh Steelers, 12-4. After having a fantastic season last season cut short, all because Le'Veon Bell got injured in the AFC Conference Championship game, has to hurt. And the fact that the Pittsburgh Steelers fans themselves had a scare wondering if Ben Roethlisberger was going to walk away from the game, it didn't happen. And Ben Roethlisberger is coming back alongside with offensive weapon Martavis Bryant, who, when he isn't struggling with his addiction, adds a lot of offensive firepower and can hopefully improve from his impressive stats back in 2015 when he caught the ball 50 times for 765 yards and 8 touchdowns. It's literally too easy to talk about how great Antonio Brown is, so I'm just going to skip over that. And as I said when I first started the video, if Le'Veon Bell stayed healthy for even the first half against the New England Patriots, they would have been in trouble. The Pittsburgh Steelers were also in the mix of some trades in the past couple of days, with the smaller of the two trades being for tight end Vance McDonald. The tight end position has always been something the Pittsburgh Steelers have struggled with. Even Heath Miller, who spent over a decade with the team, never recorded a 1,000-yard season, but trading for Vance McDonald makes the Pittsburgh Steelers offense this season stacked. But what makes the Pittsburgh Steelers so intriguing this season is them acquiring All-Pro Joe Hayden. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense back in 2014 was ranked 30th in total defense. But with the defense drastically getting younger and the potential starting to shine, they've improved to 11th last season. While even though Joe Hayden isn't the same Joe Hayden that we're used to see, he single-handedly makes the Pittsburgh Steelers defense better. And when I was talking about potential, I was talking about Bud Dupree specifically. Watch out for him this season. And drafting TJ Watt. All of these moves this offseason leads me to predict that the Pittsburgh Steelers will go 12-4. The Cincinnati Bengals, 10-6. The Cincinnati Bengals, in my eyes, are one of the most slept on teams this season. Last season was no doubt a season to forget that was heavily aided by injuries and suspensions. But to be named 23rd best team in the NFL Power Rankings is just ridiculous. Quarterback Andy Dalton is in his prime, and he's primed to be Comeback Player of the Year this season after making the playoffs all of his seasons except for last. And frankly, that offense just looks as good as the Pittsburgh Steelers. Even though in the preseason we didn't get a lot of action from their first round pick John Ross, we did get a lot from Joe Mixon. And what he's shown us is that his addition to Jeremy Hill and Giovanni Bernard are no doubt going to help Andy Dalton a lot this season. And as with Antonio Brown, wide receiver AJ Green is just on a whole nother level when it comes to being an NFL wide receiver. And I'll just leave it at that. Not to mention this season, the Cincinnati Bengals have the 4th easiest schedule in the entire NFL. With their opponents they played last season, won less than 45% of their games, with their only real challenges outside of their division being the Green Bay Packers, the Tennessee Titans, and the Denver Broncos. Even though Vontaze Burfict is gone for the first 3 games of the season, if they can manage to go 2-1 without his presence, the Cincinnati Bengals and Andy Dalton will be right back on track this season. And oh yeah, did I mention they might have a healthy Tyler Eifert? The Baltimore Ravens, 9-7. The Ravens are an interesting team to me. They have one of the best young defenses in the NFL, but I just can't seem to shake the whole Joe Flacco situation. I've read all the reports and I've kept up with Joe Flacco, and I know that the Baltimore Ravens kept Joe Flacco out of the preseason to keep him healthy, and according to the Ravens, it's worked out, and Joe Flacco isn't going to be limited this season. But to me, that just sounds a little too good to be true. In this offseason, they've lost Kenneth Dixon for the season, and even though West is stepping up, head coach John Harbaugh still thinks it's a blow to the offense. And while the Ravens did make early free agent news a while ago by signing Jeremy Maclin and Danny Woodhead to make their running back situation in Baltimore more dynamic, I, as well as Ravens fans, are waiting for Breshad Perriman to step up and have his breakout season, because Jeremy Maclin can't do it alone. But like I said, the Baltimore Ravens have one of the best young defenses in the NFL. They went from a team last season that had only 1 or 2 good pass rushers to a team this season with 3 or 4. And it all starts with guys like Tyus Bowser, Brandon Boykins, and CJ Mosley, all still led by All-Pro Terrell Suggs. In a quarterback-driven league, these are all guys who can make opposing quarterbacks go insane this season when they play the Ravens. And not to mention, they have the 10th easiest schedule in the league. Like I said, I think the Ravens might be hiding something from us with the Joe Flacco situation, but hopefully he does stay healthy as well as the rest of the Baltimore Ravens. The Cleveland Browns, 5-11. Before I say this, let me go ahead and say that I like what the Cleveland Browns and head coach Hugh Jackson are doing this season. It's great, and I agree with really all of the moves they made this offseason, business or personal related. And even though the Cleveland Browns are looking at a quarter century of not winning the division, and they're not going to do it this season, I wouldn't sleep on them going forward. As for most of you guys know, they've managed to have a fantastic first round, drafting Myles Garrett, who's been a freak this preseason, Jabril Peppers, who's already recorded an interception, and David Njoku, who's looked good and is huge physically. But maybe what was the best pick of them all came in the second round when they drafted DeShone Kizer, who's beaten out Brock Osweiler, who's already moved on to my Denver Broncos squad, and Cody Kessler, who most think had a good season last season and was actually primed to probably be the starter going into this season. DeShone Kizer earned it for sure, and he's shown that he has playmaking ability with his feet, and the best part about him is that he looks focused and poised on the football field, much like Dak Prescott. And while the Cleveland Browns have had the 11th easiest schedule this season, this isn't the season for them yet. They stocked up around 12 to 13 draft picks coming up in this coming draft, and honestly, I think free agents will start to look at the young core that the Browns have put together and definitely give the Cleveland Browns some thoughts. And while not this season, I'm not saying anything about the next. But there we go, guys, the AFC North. It's a pretty solid division, and I hope that the Cincinnati Bengals live up to my expectations this season. So yeah, you can maybe interchange the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals, but I'm not. I'm solid on the Bengals this season. But with all of that being said, make sure to leave your comments down below on what you guys think about this division and my predictions, because I would definitely like to hear you guys' opinions. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Like I said, I'm going to be cracking down on these videos before the season starts, so subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on any of those. But other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I'm out of here. Peace!